Jane Fonda shares thoughts on Sydney Sweeney's Barbarella remake. Jane Fonda, the legendary actress who starred in the 1968 cult classic Barbarella, has recently opened up about her thoughts on the upcoming remake starring Euphoria actress Sydney Sweeney. While Fonda revealed she has not been contacted about the reboot, she shared that she has plenty of ideas for what a new version of Barbarella could look like in today's cinematic landscape. In a recent interview with Vogue, the Grace and Frankie star expressed her enthusiasm for the concept but admitted that she would not reprise the titular role herself. "Nobody's asked me about it," Fonda said when asked about the reboot. "I wish I could do a remake of Barbarella, but I wouldn't play her again." However, the Oscar-winning actress noted that she has thought extensively about what a modern Barbarella could be. "I have a lot of ideas about what that could look like," Fonda added. When pressed to share her vision for the film, she playfully responded, "If Sydney asks, I'll let her know." While Fonda admitted she has never met Sweeney personally, she praised the rising star's talent. "I don't know her and I've never met her, but I think she's great," the 87-year-old said. "I'm sure she'll be a fantastic Barbarella." Fonda's comments come approximately 6 months after Sweeney herself addressed the prospect of meeting the original Barbarella star. In an interview with Variety, Sweeney expressed her admiration for Fonda and revealed that she would absolutely love to meet the iconic actress. Fonda's concerns about the reboot. Despite her recent positive remarks about the upcoming project, Fonda has previously voiced concerns over the remake. In a 2023 interview with The Hollywood Reporter, she admitted she had reservations about how the reboot would be handled. "I try not to think about it," she said candidly, "because I worry about what it's going to be." Fonda, who has long been an advocate for progressive storytelling, believes that Barbarella had the potential to be a powerful feminist film, something she felt was missing from the original. "I had an idea of how to do it that original producer Dino De Laurentiis, when he was still alive, wouldn't listen to," she stated. While Fonda's portrayal of Barbarella in the 1968 film remains iconic, she has often reflected on how the movie's feminist potential was undercut by the male-dominated production. The original film, directed by Roger Vadim and based on the French comic series by Jean-Claude Forest, followed the adventures of a space-traveling heroine in a campy, psychedelic sci-fi setting. Though the movie developed a cult following, it was widely regarded as a product of the male gaze, with Fonda's Barbarella frequently depicted in revealing outfits and sexualized scenarios. In recent years, however, Barbarella has been reassessed through a more feminist lens. Some scholars and film critics argue that despite its overtly exploitative elements, the film's portrayal of a strong, independent female lead was groundbreaking for its time. Sydney Sweeney's vision for the remake. Sydney Sweeney, who is set to star in and executive produce the new Barbarella, has expressed her excitement about bringing the character back to the screen. The actress, best known for her roles in Euphoria and The White Lotus, has proven to be a dynamic force in Hollywood, taking on both dramatic and action-packed roles. When the Barbarella remake was first announced, Sweeney took to Instagram to share her enthusiasm, posting an image of original Barbarella comic book artwork with the caption, "Time to save the universe." Though details about the remake remain scarce, Sweeney has hinted that she wants to bring a fresh perspective to the iconic sci-fi heroine. In an interview, she mentioned that she was drawn to Barbarella because of its potential for reinvention, stating, "I love taking on strong female characters and finding new ways to tell their stories." Given the significant shifts in Hollywood since the 1968 film, fans are eager to see how Sweeney and her team will modernize the character. Many hope the remake will move beyond the campy, male-centric fantasy of the original and instead lean into the potential for a more empowering and action-driven narrative. The legacy of Barbarella. Since its release, Barbarella has remained a touchstone of pop culture, influencing everything from fashion to music videos and even modern sci-fi storytelling. The film's over-the-top aesthetic, characterized by futuristic sets, flamboyant costumes and psychedelic visuals, has been referenced in countless works over the decades. Fonda's portrayal of Barbarella helped cement her status as a style icon and a symbol of the sexual revolution of the 1960s. However, in retrospect, the actress has spoken about her complicated feelings toward the film. While she acknowledges its cultural impact, Fonda has often expressed frustration about how Barbarella was perceived at the time. In multiple interviews, she has suggested that a different creative approach could have resulted in a more substantive and feminist film. "It could have been something really meaningful," she has said in the past, lamenting how much of the original film's potential was lost in translation. The challenges of rebooting a cult classic. Reboots and remakes often come with their fair share of controversy, particularly when they involve films as beloved as Barbarella. The upcoming remake will likely face scrutiny from longtime fans who have strong attachments to the original, as well as critics who will judge whether the new film successfully updates the story for a modern audience. One of the biggest challenges will be balancing nostalgia with innovation, honoring the spirit of the original while introducing new elements that resonate with contemporary viewers. Given Fonda's previous concerns about how the character has been handled in the past, there is hope that the remake will align more closely with her vision for what Barbarella could have been. Additionally, with Sweeney serving as an executive producer, she may have greater creative control over the project, allowing her to shape Barbarella into a more empowering figure rather than just a sci-fi pinup. Will Jane Fonda be involved? Given Fonda's recent comments, it remains unclear whether she will have any direct involvement in the project. While she has not been approached for input, her willingness to share her ideas with Sweeney suggests that she could still play an advisory role if invited. For many fans, the ideal scenario would be for Fonda to make a cameo in the film, perhaps as a mentor figure to the new Barbarella or even as a higher-ranking space authority who guides her mission. Such an appearance would serve as a passing of the torch, bridging the gap between the original film and the modern reimagining. Regardless of whether Fonda gets involved, her legacy as the original Barbarella will undoubtedly influence how the character is brought back to life. Final thoughts. As anticipation builds for Sydney Sweeney's Barbarella reboot, Jane Fonda's words carry significant weight. Her praise for Sweeney, combined with her previous concerns about the franchise's direction, adds an extra layer of intrigue to the project. Whether the remake will be a faithful homage to the original or a bold new take on the character remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, Barbarella's return to the big screen will be a momentous occasion, and Fonda's influence on the character will never be forgotten.